Zatch would do Zatch's laugh in a sarcastic tone.
Yeah.
Like the evil guy would be like, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah, but you, the evil Zatch laugh that you would always do all the time.
Yeah. Ha 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 ha.
Are you trying this again?
No, I'm. That's not where I need to go. I don't know where I need. Oh yeah, I need
Arden,
to go back.
that was his name.
Yeah, Arden.
Yeah.
I loved him. He was actually a really cool character.
He's like one of my favorite villains because like when you look at his backstory, he was just corrupted. He wasn't naturally evil. He's just.
And it wasn't even that he was corrupted. It's just his brother betrayed him because
his brother betrayed him because he was jealous, and then
he accepted the corruption and like being labeled as a monster.
Well, no. See, here's what happened. From what I saw in the story is that he was chosen to be the next king of that kingdom because he's technically a relative of Noctis.
Mm-hmm. Ancient relative.
Yeah, and he was chosen to be the king next in line, and then his brother got jealous and
which is Noctis's great.
And then I don't remember exactly everything, but something happened to where he killed Arden's fiance.
Yep.
Which was actually the Oracle.
Yep.
And
because the Oracle didn't want to support him in becoming the king.
Yeah. And so I think she told them something, I don't know, I remember, and then they killed her or something like that. And then he, I think, framed him on that sort of deal.
Yep, got him locked up.
And then I think he like absorbed her soul or something through that.
Yeah, and that's
where
the
he started
crazy.
accepting the dark powers. And yeah,
well, he never hated his powers really, but it started making him a little bit crazy. But he went full on crazy when he absorbed Ifrit.
Yeah, what happened is, and I think after that he got locked away for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And so, because that power allows him to live, because he can never die, like it makes him never die, but at the end like of the story, he's supposedly like their lore, he's supposed to be killed by the chosen king, which is Noctis. Now the thing is, and it's just a really raw deal because it's the gods that set it all up.
Mm-hmm. And they were all terrible.
Well, and they all had
all the gods were evil in this one, apparently.
No, they weren't evil. It's just that they have it's sort of like.
No, they were kind of evil.
No, they weren't evil. It's more of. It's not like evil. It's more like we can do this.
Self-centered.
It's more like we can do this because we're all powerful and don't question our.
Sounds evil to me.
And don't question our authority.
Ooh, Mythical Vest.
Or our. Basically, there's don't question our judgments. I wouldn't say it's evil. I'd say it's more.
Sounds evil to me.
We sound like a parent saying we know what's better for you.
But the gods weren't. We know what's better for you. The gods were. We are better than you.
I don't know. I just know that they kind of.
They didn't really care about humans. It seemed they cared more about their own deal, and just doing what they need to do.
They definitely did. He definitely. That's why he stopped caring about the gods, and started hating them.
But he kind of related to Ifrit because Ifrit kind of abandoned the gods and tried fighting them.
Well, that's because Ifrit was definitely more evil than.
Yeah.
Because he killed hundreds and thousands of innocent people.
Yeah, Ifrit was the evil one. And that's probably what caused him to go even more evil when he absorbed Ifrit.
That's why you can relate to him. But the thing is that he definitely, at the end, he felt screwed. Because he, in his situation, started off a good life. He was going to be the king. He had a great, probably future wife. He had everything all planned out. And he was content.
And then his own brother.
Yeah, his own brother.
Kills his wife. Steals his crown.
And
betrays labels him as the villain.
Labels him as a monster and a evil being that could destroy the planet.
To be locked away
for hundreds of years, then to be saved, but then to be used by those people. Then when he actually finally gets his revenge, to learn that the gods have planned it
planned for him to lose in the beginning anyway.
They've had that all planned out in the same way, and if he doesn't go along with their plan, which he didn't, he'd be tortured for eternity. And
yeah, then you get to choose to go along or not in the end of his story.
Yeah, if you chose no, then...
And obviously, of course, I chose no.
Yeah, then
so I followed the
got,
canon on accident.
And then he would, I don't know, I don't think it was... Yeah, that was definitely canon. And then he would get tortured.
Yeah,
he got tortured by his own, like, his previous girl, his fiance, the previous oracle.
I thought it was he constantly was resurrected.
No.
And killed by the gods again.
No, he was just stabbed repeatedly multiple times on his torso by his fiance over and over again.
Was it just like an apparition of her, or?
Yeah, I think it was just an apparition, obviously, but it's there to like kind of torment him, saying because that's the one person he cares and trusts, and then she's doing that to him. So, and then they finally let him go after such a long time, and then all he does is vow revenge. But then, obviously, at the end of the day, even though he goes against their plan and tries to take over the kingdom and kill Noctis, he still ends up dying because the gods obviously are going to give Noctis everything they can to kill him. Mm-hmm. And it's so messed up because like the gods actually planned him to be betrayed like that to begin with.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so you literally planned his entire life to be absolutely miserable. Why? Like there's no point.
I think it's possibly maybe like a undertone on like gods and like being able to fix things but never doing so.
Well, it just seems... Well,
so maybe like an undertone strike at religion.
I don't know. It just seems really weird. That it's just like... You created this man. You gave him all this stuff. And you took everything away. And now I understand this is sort of a situation with Christianity, because sometimes the Bible has similar stories.
Jesus.
Well, no, I'm talking
Except
about...
Jesus wasn't evil.
No, there were people in the Bible where, like, there was this one story where,
you're talking about, not Job.
Yeah, where Satan told Satan, for some reason, I guess they can just talk.
Yeah, because heaven and hell are pretty close, apparently.
And he talked and said, you know, this guy who praises you and he has all this stuff, he'll turn his back in a minute, you take everything from him. So then he takes everything. And
he also afflicts him with disease and everything too.
He afflicts him with disease and all this other terrible illnesses. He takes all his money, he takes all his possessions, his food, his clothes, his house. He even takes his wife and children. And yet, the guy didn't break and still praised God. And then what happened after that?
Didn't he take him into heaven?
No.
Like after that?
He gave him double than what he had originally owned. So he got double the money, double the clothes, double the food, a bigger house. I think he remarried, but which is kind of an oxymoron when you think about it, because in the Bible that's technically, you know.
Well, I mean, you can remarry after your.
If it's a death, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the one problem is divorce.
Yeah, he got another wife. He had more kids. I think he had like instead of.
I had to stop that from pouring out so I could go up this way. Okay.
Basically, he got everything times more than what he had, and so.
So sick of these weird things.
So it's a bit different. Whereas, like if it was the Final Fantasy guys, they would have said, "Okay, so we took everything away from you. Enjoy life."
Yeah, good luck. Bye.
Then there's a good chance that he would like even that type of guy in the Bible who is that faithful. If it was a Final Fantasy type of god, like if that's
he'd
how
probably
God
just
was,
be like, all right, screw him.
Yeah, he would definitely turn his back then after that point.
After God himself just says, I don't care.
But Yeah, that's why I kind of felt sorry for Art once I realized the story.
Yeah.
Because I realized that, like...
I like characters like that where they can make you kind of like feel for the villain instead of just the villain being like some sort of maniacal maniac.
Like, because at first I thought, like, when I played the original game, obviously it's like, okay, he's just the villain you gotta defeat. It's just another villain character. But then when you get into this, when they release the DLC, it's like, wow. I kind of feel bad for him now.
He's not just a villain character.
He's
just a guy who got a bad rap.
All I remember is
and did his best to get out of it.
All I remember is during the Prompto DLC, all I heard from you was, "Oh, he's fat. He's a fatty. Oh, look at him. He's fat. Fat. Eat food, you fatty." Because he was fat when he was a kid, and then we learned out that the Prompto we have in the game isn't even the original Prompto.
No, it's a clone.
He's a clone.
It's so messed up. Like, I did not expect that. Like, I did not expect clones to be a part of that lore and stuff.
And the problem thing is, I remember there was another thing.
Which way am I supposed to frickin' go?
That I made a joke for, is that in the game, in the DLC, he has a dream where he is I think it's he's as a dream, or I don't know if it's real or not, or maybe it's an illusion.
Dude, what if Ignis is a Prompto clone?
But
no, but like, what if?
Noctis sees Prompto as one of the Magitech soldiers.
Yeah.
And so that brought me to the conclusion, because of that.
What if all the Magitech soldiers are Promptos?
Yeah, that they're just like the ones that didn't fully process, so they just made them soldiers.
No, but they're actually just robots.
The reason why I thought this also is because they kind of scream when you kill them.
You'd think after killing thousands they would see that they're Prompto, but nah, they're just
Final
robots.
Fantasy 15.
Yeah. Do Final Fantasy 11.
That one actually doesn't have one of it doesn't have the after
No.
thing for it, and it's probably because it's not like all the other games are turn-based.
Yeah, and have a after screen.
Yeah, this one doesn't, because you go right into the battle and you just leave.
Yeah. God, look at that dot JPEG sand.
Look at that dot JPEG jewel.
That's not a jewel, that's an enemy.
Look at that dot JPEG rat booty.
Really?
I need to watch that movie again.
Yeah, that was a good freaking movie.
A lot of my friends...
How do your friends hate it?
That's it?
That's 11?
Yeah.
Go back. I think it's the level up theme.
No, it says fanfare.
Yeah, it's the level up. That's when they play fanfare. Yep.
Jeez, that MIDI sound.
I loved that game.
But anyway, no. My friends, yeah, they said that it's a lot, well, it's not even just my friends, a lot of people think Master Disguise is a terrible movie.
That's because it's like niche.
Well, I can understand now that I haven't seen it since like I was in high school or
I can watch it right now and still love it. That's because we have like memories.
Well, it's because we grew up with the movie, and that's why it's familiar with us.
A lot of people now, when they watch it now, they're in the mindset of today, and that movie's kind of offensive.
That's not why they're saying.
I'm not saying that's not your
just saying
friends, but I feel like people today.
What's 12?
Which one is that?
12.
Yeah, it's got a good one.
They use the original. A lot of them after like I would say.
But 12 is that only plays that after you beat a boss, because it's kind of like 15, where after you beat an enemy, you kind of just continue on. Because there's no like turn-based. It is turn-based, but it's no like victory screen.
Let me see 10. I like 10s.
Yeah, because it's like, it's got that like upbeat funk to it.
You know what I feel like they would do if they added every time they add a like, cause you notice, see, Cloud's victory theme in Smash Brothers is the Final Fantasy VII. If they had Tidus, would it be the Final Fantasy X one? I feel like they would give each character from their series their own.
Which frickin' way am I supposed to
I'm
go?
kind of curious if they do that in Final Fantasy.
Come on, dude. Where the frick do I go to get out of here?
Now you're lost again.
Like, I had to pull that lever. It set that out.
It's 8.
Yeah, 8's.
It's not bad. It's definitely better.
You know what? I'm gonna let myself fall, see what happens. Oh, it takes you into a battle. Watch it be something powerful. Nah.
Scorpions.
Creepy looking scorpions.
Nah. After you play Subnautica, you don't really get scared by these things, any of this stuff.
I feel like they would be weak against Blizzard.
Alright, let's see what 6 is.
It was after 6 that they stopped doing the
No, some of them, yeah, actually I think a lot of them did that. Well, not all of them did that. So, like, see,
Go through 1 through 5. They all do that.
No, I'm not saying like those. I'm saying like not all of the newer ones stopped doing it.
Yeah,
7
some
didn't do
do.
it. 8 didn't do it. 9 didn't do it. No, 9 does.
9
do
does do it. 9 was the one that they wanted to go back to their roots a little bit.
it. 7 and 8 didn't. 10 didn't. And obviously 13 doesn't do it. Because 13 ruined everything.
Yeah.
15 doesn't do it because it doesn't have the after one, and 11 doesn't have the after one.
12 doesn't do it either, I don't think.
Yeah, 12 does do it.
It does? It does.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So 12 does it, 14 does it, and so the only ones that don't do it are 7,
there's no way to
8,
get there.
10, 13, 15, and 11.
Is
That's
this an
6 out of the
exit?
15.
No, okay. There's gotta be...
So 9 of them actually do it.
There's gotta be a way I gotta
Maybe
go.
that's the exit.
Maybe I gotta, like, mash and jump over that way.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep.
Wow.